Hi everyone, welcome back to the Controversial Podcast. In today's video, we'll be talking about that my woman, Mary Diaz. Actually, we found out yesterday that she's not really a professor. She was honored at the Rhodes University. It's not like she completed her PhD, and I'm really worried about the reputation of University of KwaZulu-Natal. Back then, it wasn't the University of KwaZulu-Natal, it was University of Natal. And judging by the looks of things, Mary Diaz had an advantage because here's the white woman from England and it's apartheid regime. So we were told that white people are smarter even if they're dumb cops, they're parachuted. What a shame to the University of KwaZulu-Natal. I'm shaming the University of Natal back then because it was operating under apartheid regime. Or maybe we should say things have changed after democracy because you need to be a PhD holder in order for you to be a lecturer. Or maybe we should just forgive her because it was under apartheid regime and now things have changed since it's the University of KwaZulu-Natal. I don't know whether she continued or she's still a lecturer there. No, but I believe that she's still a lecturer. Or maybe she was a lecturer under this new democracy after 1994. So which means she was lecturing in this democracy. Even though she didn't have this PhD, she didn't even bother, to just complete her PhD. UKZN should be ashamed of themselves because in order for you to be a lecturer in South Africa at the university, you need to be a PhD holder. So this Mary Diaz is not make sure. This is our South African Karen. America have their own Karen. It's a white woman basically who's racist, and we have a white woman here in South Africa who was very racist. Live on national TV, she was just making those gestures that were annoying, busy giving rubbish evidence. I'm talking about hearsay evidence. The DA Member of Parliament, Glenys Breitenberg, tried to defend that woman and said everybody was just giving hearsay evidence. I think we should question that woman, Breitenberg, because she was the prosecutor for the longest time and allegedly she did some corruption there. That's why she was booted out in the National Prosecuting Authority. So I don't know what she meant by that. And the members of parliament didn't even question what she was saying because she was just defending that fraud, man. When the EFF member of parliament was questioning her, I'm talking about Honorable Matthys, that granny admitted that she was paid during that era of Shobashobane massacre, where criminals butchered a lot of people in Shobashobane. Remember what happened there? It was December. Remember, the people there at Shobashobane played a Stokvel and they bought a lot of food. I remember my dad narrating that story, and there was a lot of food, and it was the Inkatha Freedom Party people who played that Stokvel. So there was a vehicle that was delivering that food. They were going to deliver it somewhere so that people can go and take their food. What did the ANC thugs do? They went there and hijacked that car and took all the food, and it was before Christmas. So the Inkatha Freedom Party people got so angry. I know they had no right to butcher those people. I wish they came up with a better solution, but in their mind at that time, they just decided that, you know what, you're going to butcher those people. So that's how that massacre happened. So when she says she was defending those people who were unfairly treated in the courts, which means she was defending thugs. She even said it that she was paid. How do you defend thugs? How do you defend criminals? Because criminals from the ANC started that whole thing. The IFP people fought back, and unfortunately, a lot of people were unalived. So I really don't understand when she says she got money to help the people who were treated unfairly by courts. What does she mean by that? So she went there and represented the people who have slaughtered a lot of people. That woman, based on her evidence that she submitted at the ad hoc committee, I feel like that woman was just a spy. She was supposed to be arrested with those thugs that killed ANC members. She was just supposed to be arrested, but hey, she had privileges. She's a white person. She's a white person trying to act like a messiah. Clearly she was involved. She was the one who was just dividing black people. It's clear that she interfered. She was never there, to protect black people or try to make peace with them. She was enjoying the whole show. She got paid. She got paid by those thugs to represent them. She doesn't care about the victims who died. That's the reason why she disbanded the PKTT. She's selfish, she's racist, she's stupid. And I think Honorable Shongo was right. Honorable Shongo from the Umkhonto Sizwe Party, he was right when he said we should actually verify her qualifications. I mean, what the heck? What the heck? I have totally lost respect for the SAPS minister, Senzo Mchunu. I have absolutely no respect for that guy. I mean, I didn't respect Mchunu, but now it's worse. How stupid can you be to follow an order or an instruction that was based on hearsay? She keeps on saying, I do a lot of research. No, she's protecting the cartels because the PKTT was now busy with drug cartels, with people who are hijacking tenders. I'm talking about people who are holding the states by the balls. We've seen Katie Molefe, we've seen Matlala, and there's a big five cartel, and General Mkhwanazi did not disclose those people, other people. They only disclosed Katie Molefe and that criminal who's in jail at this moment, Vusi Musiket Matlala. And I'm telling you, ANC wants to use Vusi Musiket Matlala as a scapegoat because they don't want to take accountability. Just like this Gogo, Mary Diaz, we should actually stop calling her professor. She's not a professor. I don't understand why Rhodes was honoring her. That woman has no credibility, has no respect or whatsoever. Why would you honor somebody like that? Because she keeps on saying, I've heard from this person. She doesn't want to take accountability. What baffles me is that she doesn't want to take accountability, especially when the Action SA Member of Parliament, Miss James, asked her if she's rejoicing now since Mkhunu acted on her instructions. She's like, no, it's not instructions. She was just requesting. Since Mkhunu was the new minister, she was just writing. What nonsense is that? I mean, if we can have a leader of the SAPS acting on hearsay, interfering with police operation, nah man, this fraud must be arrested too. Mary Diaz must be arrested. Secondly, she must be investigated. They must investigate her bank accounts and everything. The money that she has received. Maybe the money she has received is from the cartels. Maybe she was given by that guy from Mozambique who was arrested in KZN, that kingpin that is known for kidnapping business people. What if she was paid by that man? That guy, I think his name is Nangi, is now busy taking General Mkhwanazi to court for stupid charges. Like they said, the PKTT stole their Rolex. And saying it's Mkhwanazi, the Sunday World publication made a publication there saying Mkhwanazi stole a Rolex watch from that guy. And when you read that article, they are now saying it's PKTT, it's not directly Mkhwanazi. It is a shame in this country that we've got a media that is protecting criminals. And it's clear that they're being paid by these people. And it is a shame. Mary Diaz is not even well upstairs. It's like she has mental issues. She's giggling. She doesn't understand the mess she's in. She's just gonna use the age. I hated it when the presiding officer, talking about Lekhanyago, when he was just treating her with soft gloves. That woman doesn't deserve that. I mean, I understand, but she was way rude. She was very rude. In my opinion, she should be arrested. I mean, we've seen grannies who are criminals. I think it was last year where an old lady, it happened at the Cape Town airport. I can't remember, it was a young woman or a young man. I think it was a young man. And he was sitting next to this granny. So they had a conversation and they landed in Cape Town airport. So the officials now were checking the suitcase and they have found drugs to the luggage that was belonging to this granny. So now this granny is like, no, this is not mine. This luggage belongs to this young man. It cannot be me. So that guy was questioned. I think he said he spent about a couple of hours being questioned, and she was just saying, no, it's not mine. It cannot be. I don't have drugs. It's definitely this guy. The police officers asked the name of the guy, and the lady could not say the name of the guy, and that's how she was arrested. So we should be very careful about grannies. Why she's worried about the PKTT, about spending a lot of money. She even said it's a wasteful expenditure. How many test teams that are there in the SAPS? There are many, and others are spending a lot of money. We've had the former minister of SAPS, the former commissioner Becky Cele. He said there's many test tubes, and some of them are quite very expensive. They pay a lot of money. This Meridias is just angry because General Ndlela Mkhwanazi was busy dealing with the real people. I'm talking about the real syndicates here. And it's clear that she's being used. This woman is not even South African. Did you know that she's from England? She wasn't born here in South Africa. But they just interfering, him and Paul O'Sullivan. They're just interfering, talking nonsense, talking BS about top cops of this country. We should be worried that we have foreigners. I'm not so sure whether they are legal. Maybe they are even illegal. These people should be deported. They should be arrested and deported.
Chair, this is very serious, Dr. Mary. What I'm referencing here, your instruction to the Minister to instruct the National Commissioner, paragraph 4, your allegation that that General Khumalo holds two positions, and also in paragraph 9 of your letter, gross irregularity, use of national resources unheard of. All of these things based on hearsay. This is what your letter contains. Look, this is what your letter contains, and this is what the minister acted on. Oh. The minister said that he acted on your letter. This is what you instructed. This is your evidence, and you are aching today.
No, I mean, I reported in good faith what I got from credible sources. Khumalo was present with the task team, whatever his structural position was.
Dr. Mary, we are meant to probe this letter. We are meant to probe what you put in this letter so that we can understand why you put it in here. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm referencing all your paragraphs in terms of your ask to the minister, and I'm putting it to you that it is incorrect. I'm saying to you that you cannot have a conventional response to unconventional patterns of crime unfolding in this country. You are saying it is unheard of. Everything that you have said here today goes back to the 80s. You are stuck in the 80s way of policing. I'm saying to you, we can have task teams. I'm saying to you that we can have national units deployed to provinces.
I beg your pardon, I'm not stuck in the 80s. I'm stuck in what I learned about policing in the 90s and how you dealt with task teams. And before the policing went downhill after 2009.
Dr. Mary, this is no laughing matter.
I'm sorry.
This is no laughing matter. State security has been compromised because of this letter. We're having to pay 4 ministers. We are suffering as South Africans because of this. And you are laughing.
Sorry.
This is serious.
I'm trying to make sense.
It's very serious. Don't let me get started about the Cape Flats and our children that's on drugs. And you giving this minister this letter.
But, I mean, it's not my fault.
What's your take on this one? Please leave a comment, like, share. Bye.